Prabhu, you mentioned that if we chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulatory principles on the instruction of the Prabhupada,
Yes.
then we'll go back to the Godhead. Even though we approach Krishna with a lot of material desires,
Yes.
we are also practicing it. My question is, there is one more saying that until unless we get rid out of all our desires and we cannot enter into Golaka Vrindavan. So in that case, how do we understand this? How Krishna will take? Whether shall I, since I am chanting 16 rounds, 4 regulative principles with all the desire, I'll enter into Golaka Vrindavan in this life itself, or until unless I purify my consciousness, though I chant 16 rounds, Krishna will not allow me to enter into Golaka Vrindavan.
Okay. So, in reply to that, first of all, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 4 kinds of people approach him. Who are the 4 kinds of people who approach Krishna, who come to Krishna? Artho, Jijnasur, Artharthi, Jnanicha, Bharatarshrava. These are the 4. Chaturvida bhajante mam, Sukritino Arjuna. So Krishna tells Arjuna, 4 kinds of pious people come and surrender to me. Who are there? Who are they? They are Artaha, Artharthi, Jijnasur, Jnanicha, Bharatarshrava. So a person who is Artha, who is distressed, who is having some problem, who is having some distress, there is some big disease which has afflicted me, there is some major problem in the family, there is some other kind of distress which is afflicting him. So a person who is very much in distress, he can come and surrender to Krishna. Another kind of person who comes and surrenders to Krishna is Artharthi, who wants some wealth, who wants some position, like Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj also approached Krishna. Why? He did not approach Krishna asking for some bhakti or going back to Godhead. None of those things were in his mind. There was only one thing in his heart, which is, I want a kingdom bigger than my father's. That was the whole, because he felt insulted. So somebody may approach Krishna for the sake of wealth or position or something like that, some material benefit. Third person is a jijnasu, somebody who is seeking knowledge. I want to know who is the Supreme Lord, what is Bhagavad Gita, what is there in the Vedas. So such a jijnasu, such an inquisitive person may also approach Krishna. And the 4th kind of person who approaches Krishna is a person who is in full knowledge that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a person also surrenders to Krishna. So Krishna says that all these Mahatmas, these are all Mahatmas, because somehow or the other they have come and surrendered to Krishna. So the question is that somebody, if he is coming and surrendering to Krishna with some ulterior motive, with some other material desire, then what happens to that person? Will he go back to Godhead, or will he just get those material benefits, or what will happen to him? So that in the Bhagavatam it is said that Satyam dishati artitham artito nrinam. That Satyam, it is a truth, it is a fact that arthito arthitaha nrinam. That when somebody arthitaha, when somebody is approaching Krishna for some material benefit, then it is a fact that dishati, Krishna will give, that will satisfy his material desire. He will give him that material desire. Naivarthado punararthitaha yataha. But then Krishna will see, if it is a one-time desire that he wants, that if I fulfill this once, that's all, finished. After that, he will not desire anything else, no problem. I will fulfill his desire. But then Krishna will see, Naivarthado punararthitaha yataha. If Krishna sees punararthita, if I fulfill the desire, this particular desire of this living entity, he will again and again come and ask me for more and more. Today he is asking me for 1 lakh rupees. If I give him that 1 lakh rupees, tomorrow he will come back and ask me, Krishna, thank you very much, you gave me 1 lakh rupees, now please give me 2 lakh rupees. Okay, Krishna will give that 2 lakh. Third day he will come, Krishna, thank you very much, you gave me 2 lakh rupees, now please give me 4 lakh rupees. So if Krishna sees, because Krishna knows the heart of the living entity, he knows the innermost desire of our heart. So Krishna knows that if he fulfills this particular material desire of the living entity, he will again and again come and ask for the same thing. Then Naivarthada, Krishna will not fulfill that desire. So what will Krishna do then? On the other hand, Swayam Vidhatte, bhajatam anichchatam. Even though the living entity has no such desire to obtain devotional service or go back to Godhead or any such thing. His only desire is some material motive. But Krishna, keeping aside that, what he does, he says, Bhajatam, he sees he is rendering devotional service to me. So Swayam Vidatte, he gives himself to that devotee. How does he give himself? Ichchapidhanam. He will give him devotional service, he will give him love of himself in such a way that Ichchapidanam, all the other desires that the living entity has with which he is coming to Krishna to fulfill those desires, Ichchapidanam, all those desires will vanish. So, this is how Krishna reciprocates with his devotees. Unlike other devatas, what will happen is, if you go to those devatas, they will only see, have you satisfied me this? Okay. What do you want? You want this? Take this. Or across the counter. Just like you go to some shop, you want to buy something, you go, okay, you want, what do you want? I want this, I want that, I want this. Okay, everything is there. Please pay the money. You pay the money, take the goods and go. So that's the relationship with devatas. You go, you want this, okay. You do this tapasya, you take this vrata, you do, you have done that, you have pleased me, okay, take this and go. That's all. But Krishna does not do like that. What Krishna does is, Krishna, if he sees you have this desire, but if I fulfill this, you will again and again keep asking the same thing. What is the use? So Krishna will not fulfill that desire. On the other hand, Krishna will give himself to that devotee. And by giving himself to that devotee, what he will do, he will cover up all other desires of the living entity. The living entities, all other desires will get washed away, and he will get fully satisfied in that devotional service of Krishna. Just like you look at Dhruva Maharaj, he came to Krishna with some big material motive, and he satisfied Krishna within 6 months. So much tapasya he took. What for? Not for going back to Godhead, but for getting a big kingdom. But at the end of it, when Vishnu appeared before him, what was Dhruva Maharaj's reaction? Vishnu appeared before him and said, Dhruva, you have satisfied me with such wonderful austerities. Please tell me, what is your heart's desire? I want to give you some benediction. Dhruva Maharaj looked at him and he said, I am most ashamed, my Lord, to tell you what is in my heart. I am such a fallen soul. I was wanting some big things, but instead you have given yourself to me. So Kacham Michinman. Kacham means some pieces of glass, broken pieces of glass. Kacham Vichinman. Vichinman means I was searching. So I was searching for some broken pieces of glass. And what did I get in return? Divyaratnam. I got some divine jewel. Varam Nayache. I don't want any benediction. I have got you. What more do I need? I don't need anything else. Sthana Bilashi Tapasistitoham. Tvam Praptavan Deva Munindra Guhyam. That I was desiring some material motive which has no value, and I worshipped you, and what did I get in return? Tvam Praptavan, I got you, who are Tvam Praptavan Deva Munindra Guhyam, who are not obtainable even by Devatas, by great Munis. They cannot achieve you. I have got you. So what need is there for me to satisfy any desire? I don't want any kingdom. I don't want anything, any benediction from you. I have got you. That's enough for me. So this is what happens to a devotee of Krishna. When we approach Krishna and we render devotional service to him, eventually Krishna will wipe out all the other desires in our heart. And that is the process of devotional service. So the process of devotional service is Adau Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Atho Bhajana Kriya Tatho Anartha Nivrittihi Syat. The moment we engage in devotional service to Krishna, Anartha Nivritti, all the material desires in the heart have to go out. They have to go. All our material desires will vanish with time. It's just that we have to sincerely execute devotional service. That's all. Now, over and above this, whole life we may be executing very sincerely all the instructions of Prabhupada, but still there may be some material desires left in our heart. So that at the time when we are leaving our body, if we are able to remember Prabhupada and Krishna, that time Prabhupada will tell, Chalo, take you back. Prabhupada will take us back. So Prabhupada can override all our material desires, one shot purify and take us back. That is Prabhupada's commitment also. Prabhupada said, whole life if you follow the regulatory principles, you chant 16 malas, follow all my instructions, follow the sadhana that I have given, then guaranteed I'll take you back to Godhead. Whether we are purified, not purified, all doesn't matter. If you are sincerely trying to purify yourself, then Prabhupada will take you back to Godhead. Of course, we should not, like the seventh offense, take advantage of this and maintain all the material desires, thinking that anyway Prabhupada will take me back to Godhead. So what is the need for me to remove all the material desires? Let me maintain all of them. No. As long as we are trying sincerely, but out of some weakness, we are not able to give up some material desires. Although in our heart we know, yes, this is not correct, I should give up, and we constantly keep praying to Prabhupada and Krishna that I want to give up this desire, but somehow due to some weakness, I am not able to give up. Please help me, please help me. If we keep praying and following all the principles and instructions of Prabhupada, then at the end of our lifetime, some discount will be given. Because in Kali Yuga, you cannot expect people like Dhruva Maharaj and all that. Dhruva Maharaj in 6 months, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, perfected. We will be chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra for 6 lifetimes also, still we'll be like this only. He will reach nowhere near Dhruva Maharaj. So that was a different yuga, different age. People had a different standard of spiritual standing. We are Kali Chelas. Our standard is something else. So for us, if the same yardstick is applied like it is for Dhruva Maharaj and all those people, then there is no hope for all of us. So for us, it is a special kripa. That is why Krishna had to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because in Kali Yuga, no other, even Krishna personally cannot deliver us. Even Krishna personally comes, he will see, oh, useless fellows, he will leave and go. So Krishna has to specially come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then only we can be saved. So that is the kripa of Krishna.